Greetings. My name is Boniface Wewe. I'm going to read from my book, African Sex Education, Chronicles and Memory. The subtitle is Miyidima-The Africans' Erotic Convocation, Liberation of the Long-Suffering Birds and Beasts of Africa. I was born and bred in Cameroon, Africa, but have made my home in Brooklyn, New York since 1993. As a native African, I would affirm with charismatic candor that our culture, unlike its Western counterpart, is not frank at all. Regrettably, this mindset has spread to African bedrooms and into our sexual convocation. Consequently, discussions concerning sex are very uneasy for most Africans. Small wonder a great proportion of our marriages are pre-arranged. This work is a media-inspired travelogue spanning different continents, with the country of Cameroon constituting a point of departure or case study. Cameroon is described as all of Africa in one country, or the Africa in miniature. In his song, Amandia, South African songwriter, playwright, and director Mbonge trying to bring reconciliation between Indians and Africans in KwaZulu-Natal, South Africa. This song represents the way many Africans feel about the behavior of Indians in this country. It is an attempt to open a constructive discussion that will lead to true reconciliation between Indians and Africans. Following Ngema's example, it is my intention, therefore, to reconcile Africans with the rest of the world through the controversial topic of sex. It is time for the African to move beyond tight vaginas and big mandingos, for there is more to their erotic convocation. The subtitle of this pseudo-PhD dissertation says it all: Miyidima-The Africans' Erotic Convocation, Liberation of the Long-Suffering Birds and Beasts of Africa. We all know from basic geography that there is a region of Guinea and Liberia that hosts the Malenke and the Mandingo tribes. Apparently, other races on planet Earth believe that black men have the biggest penises. We, the black studs, are now called Mandingos. An African male, a Mandingo is defined as an African male who knows that he has a huge penis that can hit all night and keep a female coming back for more. Or it can be defined as a black man with a huge cock. This according to UrbanDictionary.com. One of my best friends in South Africa is a taxi driver named Bongani Nzimela. Bongani is almost my age and very enterprising. Given our business relationship, I hire him every year when I'm in KwaZulu-Natal for trips to the countryside or homestead of Kwamalosi, where Mandingo, the famous Sangoma traditional healer, lives. In this way, I use one stone to shoot two birds, as Bongani speaks perfect English and doubles as my Zulu translator. For 2 years, Bongani has been saving to build his first home, and after the structure was still under construction, he moved into it, despite the fact that his kids' bedrooms had not been completed. Thus, he and his wife had to share the same bedroom with the kids, and you know what that means. While getting an update on Bongani's project, he told me he was happy but the only frustration pending the completion of his house was that of the suspicion from his kids each time he and his wife were trying to have sex. They had to wait until the kids were asleep, but did not feel too free. I thank you for welcoming me into your space, and I hope that our odyssey into the world of sex, adventure, and new things constitutes history in the making. During a visit to Africa in June 2007, French President Nicolas Sarkozy argued in Dakar, Senegal, that colonialism is not responsible for all of Africa's problems, with the African peasant knowing only the eternal renewal of time rhythm by endless repetition for the same gestures and the same words. He continued, in this imaginary world where everything starts over and over again, there is no place for human adventure or for the idea of progress. Mr. Sarkozy is also of the opinion that the African man has not sufficiently entered history, which is a tragedy. Once the birds and beasts of Africa have been liberated, I am sure we will receive accreditations from Mr. Sarkozy. Let us get to know the European and the Caucasian races. As world citizens, we don't know where and how the next partner would come from to enhance African erotica, and so knowing your neighbor is an asset. Harboring feelings of animosity and whining about racism will not help us. We are blessed to have Afrikaners or Boers and descendants of other white people in South Africa and other countries. They have been in Africa for centuries and know no other home. One hand cannot tie a knot, and their scientific and economic skills are assets to Africa and Africans. The revolutionary song Dubula Ibumu, or Kill the Boer, which is sung by Julius Malema or anybody for that matter, should be condemned. We cannot change the past, but we can certainly change the future, and dwelling on the past is retrogressive. In Durban, South Africa, Indian business acumen has a reputation for success based in fact. It is said that an Indian businessman would tell a window shopper without shame, look at the product, but don't steal it. Let us observe how they operate and inculcate their savvy into our own culture. China is now outpacing Japan as the world's second largest economy. They are offering loans to African countries and selling their goods to us while we whine and whine. Africans should use a long spoon when dealing with the Chinese, their good intentions notwithstanding, as they have a strong attachment to their culture, no matter the level of sophistication of their technology or otherwise that they attain. They will not give a damn about how the African feels regarding his human rights the day they finally colonized Africa. Zambian politician Michael Sata has been cautioning Africans against handing the continent of Africa to China on a silver platter. The Chinese have always been reserved in their relations with Africa. In matters of erotic convocation, there are biracial couples of blacks and whites, but biracial couples of Chinese and black couples are not only rare, but frowned upon by Chinese culture. When the birds meet the bees, the end product is love. Hence, Miyidima, which is Fufude language for I love you. I hope that the long-suffering African birds and bees will be liberated, especially where their erotic convocation is concerned. Enjoy your love making. You may pick up a copy of the book at iuniverse.com. I remain, and I am, yours truly in Gendar. Gendar is Fufude for love. Edi is Frank Betty in Cameroon. Edi means love. Komne is Bamileke in Cameroon, and it means love. And above all, Tando, which means love in the Nguni languages of South Africa. God bless you. Pick up a copy of African Sex Education. This is just the tip of the iceberg.